Well, like you said, I think had Will Greer remained on this roster and not gone and taken a job with the Cowboys coaching staff, that he would have probably started this game and then given way to Haynes King. But when Greer retired and then went into coaching, obviously I don't think they wanted to play Haynes the whole game. So I don't think Kenny Pickett's going to be in there long. I would guess a series or two at the most. And then we see a lot of Haynes King, and I think we're going to see a lot of running from Haynes King. I mean, this is a guy that rushed for nearly 1,000 yards at Georgia Tech. Like, he had 430 rushing attempts in 3 seasons at Georgia Tech. And look, like he told us today, when you're playing behind an offensive line that's going to be kind of mixing and matching, protection could be an issue, and I think we might need to set an over-under on Haynes King rushing yards. I don't know. What do you think, Sheena? Like 55, 58 rushing yards?
I'm gonna give him a cool 55. I think
All right.
55 is a safe start. Honestly, so far to me, Joe Haynes' arm looks better than Kenny Pickett's. I'm just going to be honest with you. And I wouldn't be surprised if at some point in the season he did become QB2. But so I am looking to see what kind of pocket presence and pocket awareness Kenny Pickett is going to have, because it's been non existent in camp so far. I'm just going to be honest. It's been pretty non existent. And I think that the edge that Kenny Pickett has over Haynes King is the experience. He's getting up there, he's lining people up, he's checking the protections, he's doing all those things that Haynes King hasn't had to do in a live NFL game just yet. So I think that as the preseason goes on, oh, I'm sorry, they said they couldn't hear me, or the chat said it's hard to hear me. Is that better? I'm quiet.
Yeah, yeah,
Let me
it's
turn it
better.
up. Let me turn me up. Is that better?
Yeah, it's louder for me.
It's louder.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah. So for me, I think that it'll be interesting to see how they handle the different looks of the quarterbacks. But I do think that right now Haynes King is having a better camp than Kenny Pickett is, in my opinion.
yeah.
Yeah.
My
Go ahead. Go
okay.
ahead, Don.
No, I'm just saying. Fan Fest. My only observation until I'll be at joint practice, but this is my only observation to see both quarterbacks, and just normal stuff with Haynes King. He's gonna have to speed that clock up. It seems like he's obviously you're practicing, and that's kind of the biggest adjustment for most of these guys is just getting used to like, hey, I can't just sit here in the pocket. I have to use my
Right.
legs, and so sometimes when you have that scrambling ability, it kind of shows in preseason. I mean, we saw for years how Joe Webb used to kind of go crazy in preseason because he was such a runner. And so I think that it almost has to show. But I just think the biggest thing for Haynes King is just try to see if he can deliver the football. There's a lot of receivers that need to get a look in this on this roster. And so I
Yeah.
know last year some guys were probably hampered by UFL, was he MVP or like offensive player of the year, Jack Plummer last year in preseason, and they really didn't get the targets that they may need. But there's guys that I'm assuming will see the field like a Jimmy Horn Jr. or a Jasim Reed or a guy. I don't even know who else could play that at the back of the roster that would need those targets. So that's kind of what I'm looking forward to see if he can deliver the football. But I think I do expect a lot of rushing from him as well.
Yeah, I think Bryson Tremaine's another guy we'll see in that receiving core. He had a really nice catch today. Actually, came down out of bounds on a really nice pass from Bryce in the end zone. But yeah, you're right. I mean, they've got some decisions to make, and I know they've got a month still to make it, but with those down the roster receivers, and I really like Jasim Reed. I had a chance to talk to him today. He is a guy that is really showing up in pretty much every practice. He was on this practice squad. Guys get on that practice squad, and you get into the course of a 17 game season, you don't really get to write about him. But he was here all year last year. He told me today that he really benefited from going against J.C. Horn and Mike Jackson every day. I mean, I had people around the program tell me that he made life tough on those guys some days. That he was kind of he was a good receiver. He's a craftsman at his route, and he's a great underdog story, guys. This guy played football at University of San Diego. The only reason I know about the University of San Diego football program is they're in Davidson's conference. It's the only football championship subdivision conference that has no athletic scholarships. So he was on an academic scholarship at San Diego, and here he is with a chance to make a 53-man roster 2 years later.
And I
Traveling
think
from
that's a
San
strong
Diego to
chance too.
Davidson.
Yeah, that's a strong chance too, Joe. He definitely had some moments that stood out in camp. You know, like I said, different receiver steps up almost every practice as far as trying as who are going to be those receivers 5, 6, and possibly 7. So you know that's what makes Haynes King performance that much more important because, like you said, Dunk, guys are counting on him. Guys are counting on him to get them the ball and so that they can showcase what they can do to try to make this 53.
Yeah, so I'm very curious to see how that plays out. We've also heard that we're not going to see Monroe Freeling, the rookie. We're not going to see Jonathan Brooks. Of course, Xavier Legette had injured today, but we weren't going to see him anyway. Princely had a kind of halfway joke that he was looking forward to being in sweatsuit. So who's some guys, maybe some younger guys that you guys are maybe looking forward to seeing as like not receivers, maybe even on the defensive side of the football?
Sorry. Trying to push my chair up. I'm sorry. I thought I could be discreet.
You take the first swing at it, Sheena.
Will Lee, I mean, I'm sorry, not Will Lee, but yeah, Will Lee too, but Lee Hunter. I think a lot of people were surprised when that depth chart came out. We'll talk about that later on in the show. And Cam Jackson was ahead of him, but Cam Jackson is having a stronger camp. So I am looking forward to seeing Lee Hunter. Zaki Wheatley.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to getting a closer look at him because we've seen kind of the core guys for the most part, but I do want to see him. I don't know if Will Lee will play or if he will play. Well, he will play because he's listed third string on the depth chart for whatever reason. I think that he's been having a good camp. So those are the young guys that stick out to me just right offhand.
Yeah, I'll stay on the defensive side and talk about Aaron Hall. He's, of course, that undrafted rookie from Duke at defensive tackle. And this is a defensive tackle unit now that's already was missing Turk Wharton, and now we get the surprise retirement today from LeBron Ray. So Sheena mentioned Cam Jackson and Lee Hunter, but heck, there could be an opportunity for a guy like Aaron Hall, who had a pretty solid career at Duke. I've seen him show up in a couple of the practices. Not, I can't say he's making plays every day, but he's a big dude, 6'4", 300, who can move. And so again, I think the LeBron Ray retirement, and here's a guy that had played 48 games, something like that, the last three. I guess it was 48 games for Ajero Avero the last 3 seasons, and was going to be in the 2 deep again this year, but evidently he kind of had enough football. Don't know the whole backstory yet, but that was sort of how it was posed to me. But anyway, an opportunity for a guy like Aaron Hall to get out there Thursday in Canton against Carson Beck and show what he can do.
Against Carson Beck. This is what the America wants. Carson
Beck
versus Kenny Pickett. / Haynes King. The matchup
Dunk, how would you sell this matchup, man? Carson Beck versus this Panthers defense.
I'll ask one question. Do you love football or not? That's the question.
That's what it's going to come down to.